So for today's video, I will be making apple butternut squash muffins for Matthew. These are toddler approved vegetables and fruit muffins, so you can get your kiddos to eat them if they're super picky like my son is. Super simple ingredients, and I'm going to show you exactly how I make it. This is my first time making it. I have made other vegetable and fruit muffins, but this combo of the apple and butternut squash is the first one that I'm going to be doing, so should be interesting. My son is a huge butternut squash fan, so he should, cross fingers, like it. So I thought I would share with you guys. If you guys have any picky eaters out there, this is a great recipe. It's healthy for kids and adults. I'm sure I'll like it as well. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so here's all the ingredients that you'll need. I got the raw honey because I try to get it as local as possible, so it's good for him. 2 apples. I got the Honeycrisp apples. 2 tablespoons of butter, salt, vanilla extract, baking powder, baking soda. I do whole wheat flour instead of the white because it's healthier. And I have a package of butternut squash already cut up. I am going to boil it for about 10 minutes or so till it's soft, and then I'm going to puree it and put it into the muffins. And I'm just going to chop up the apples. I'm not going to puree the apples because he doesn't mind that part. So I'm going to start off by measuring 2.5 cups of the butternut squash, and I'm going to put it in this pot and boil it with water for about 10 minutes or so until the fork goes through and it's soft. And I like to buy it already cut up because for those of you who haven't made butternut squash at home, it's an extremely hard vegetable to cut, and I mean very, very tough. So I saved myself the misery and got the pre-cut. So I'm going to go ahead and boil those now. Then we're going to head over to the apples, and I love my apple slicer. It is amazing. Helps me save time. So I'm going to cut up the apples. I already took off the skin. I'm going to be dicing them into small pieces so they're not too big. Okay, so here's how the apple slices came out. I cut them up very small so Matthew doesn't really complain, but I'll show you a piece like this. Not huge, not big, just a good size. So we're gonna move on to the dry ingredients now while the squash is boiling and steaming in there. I'm going to steam it for a good 10 minutes and it will be ready to go. So while that's being done, I'm going to go ahead and mix up all my dry ingredients. Like I said, I do like to use the whole wheat flour. I find that it's healthier. There's more benefits to it rather than the white. And this recipe is really great because there's no like artificial sugar. It's just honey, which is, I know honey has natural sugars, but nothing like crazy. So honey's a great thing to have. So I really do enjoy this recipe. It's great for kids who are picky eaters like mine. So I'm going to go ahead, put the cinnamon, put all the dry ingredients together in a bowl, and then we will mix that up and check on the squash shortly. I'm going to go ahead and whisk together all the dry ingredients, and there's that. Now we're going to move on to the wet ingredients, starting with the raw honey, and the recipe calls for 1/2 cup of the raw honey, so I'm going to go ahead and measure that out now. And like I said, this is organic raw honey, so it's very, very good for you. So I found this at a local ShopRite, and I thought this was perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in a separate bowl to keep all the wet ingredients together. And shortly after this, I will be checking on our squash, and then I'm going to puree that and add that to the wet ingredients as well. And my house is going to start smelling very good very soon. So the butternut squash is all done. I'm gonna drain out the water, and then you can just see there's so much steam. It's almost a blur for a little bit, but then you'll see clearly how beautiful the squash looks. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use my masher first just to get it smushed together. And then from there, I will be using my blender, my mixer, I'm sorry. And something's wrong with my blender at the moment, so I'm just using my mixer, same effect. And gonna make it as smooth of a texture as I can so he doesn't notice the vegetable in there. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add the melted butter and stir that up together, and you'll see it's a very smooth texture with all the wet ingredients. And then I went ahead and mixed it with the dry ingredients, and you can see the thickness of it now. We're gonna go ahead and add those apple chunks, and make sure you fold this part in and not use like a spatula and mix it all in there. That's the best way to do it. So here is the muffin tray I have. These are silicone. I ordered these a long time ago and I love them. They're all different colors. I'm gonna do that. And these are just the paper ones because I only have so many of these. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the batter in. I like to fill each cup like about halfway, a little bit more, because muffins should be a decent size. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill these up, and make sure you guys preheat your ovens to 350, and I will be cooking these for about 17 minutes. That seemed to be the perfect number for me. The recipe says between 17 and 20 minutes, but 17 was the perfect number for me. So there's that, and here they are. They are beautiful, and they are smelling amazing. Matthew, what did you just eat?
I eat my
And did you eat the whole thing?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, I see it toilet.
You what?
See it to toilet.
You keep it in the garbage?
Yeah.
No, you ate. Oh, that doesn't go in the garbage. We saved that. But was it good?
Yeah.
Yeah.